Welcome back to my channel, guys. In this video I'll share with you how to sew a satin bias skirt, an A-line skirt. It's called a bias skirt because of the way it's folded. You're going to fold it in a triangular or bias shape to give you that free flowing silhouette at the hemline. So I have two fabrics, 2 yards of fabrics of Duchess satin that I cut into two. So I have 1 yard each for the front and the back. So this is 1 yard, and this is one yard of the bias satin. And this side is the width, right? And this is the length. It's usually 60 inches by length. So to fold it in a bias shape, I am going to, you know, hold this part of the with this pointy part, and I'm going to fold it. This is folding in a bias shape, fold it in a triangular shape like this. So if you want to achieve that silhouette free flowing effect at the hemline of this satin slip skirt, you have to fold it this way. It is very important. Okay, so you fold it like this in a triangular form, right? And then you're going to now take your measurement. So what I'll do is, to get my waist measurement, I'm going to divide it by 4, and I'll add 1 inch seam allowance, right? So what I will do is, the value I have, that is my waist divided by 4 plus 1 inch seam allowance, I'm going to come on this top part and just impute the value I have, right? So you impute the value you have. Remember that this is the folded part. So you find a place where the value you have can fit in, and you're going to mark a straight line there. So I'm using my tape as a guide. Then I'm now going to use my ruler to make it more visible. Just rule a straight line. That is going to be my waist. All right. So the next thing I'm going to do is just cross check my measurement, and then I impute my waist. That is a quarter of my waist plus 1 inch seam allowance. Then from my waist to my hip, I'm going to use 9 inches. All right. So on there, that is on my hip, I'm going to also, impute a quarter of my hip plus 1 inch seam allowance on that 9 inches mark that I have on there. This is my 1 inch seam allowance. So I'll come on my hem, and I'm going to get the length of this skirt. So it's usually more beautiful when it is midi, right? That is, it is past your knee length. So take your measurement. Is based on preference. For me, I'm working with a length of 29 inches. Sorry, 28 inches plus 1 inch seam allowance, which is a total of 29 inches. That is exactly what I'm marking there. So this is the length of my skirt. And then whatever measurement, I'm going to connect my waist to my hip like this first, slight curve, and then whatever measurement I have on my hip, I'm just going to bring it down to my hemline. And that is basically it, guys. Because this skirt is folded in bias form, you have to measure very well so that you're sure that the hem is equal. So you place your tape and measure the length of your skirt, but when you get to this part, you realize that you need to come up a bit. So you come up, blend it, and it will also eliminate any pointiness. For me, I came up by about 1 inch, so I blended it up like this, and that is all for the skirt. So you can go ahead and cut it, but I want to add a little bit of flare on my hem. So if you want to do that, maybe make it a bit more flared on the hem, you're going to add 1 inch on this part. So I'll do that. It is optional, it is not necessary, but I choose to do it. So I'll add 1 inch to this part, and then I'll connect it from my hip all the way down to my hem, and also blend back that curve there. and this will just make it a bit, just a tiny, a little more flared. Okay, so go over your measurements again and be sure you have the hem equal, just like I'm doing. When I do that and I am sure of my measurement, I'll go ahead and cut this out. All right. And on the waist, I added half of an inch. This is because I'm going to be attaching the facing. All right. Please hit on the like button and subscribe to this channel if you're not yet subscribed. Thank you. So this is the front part of the skirt, and I'll be using just this to cut the back. There is no difference because the zipper will be by the side. So I'm just going to use this to cut on the back. I'll fold the other 1 yard that I have left, and I'm going to place this on top of it, and I'll cut the back piece. Just exactly, because there is no more alteration for the back or anything. The zipper allowance is going to be by the side, so I'm not going to add any zipper allowance at the mid part of the skirt, at the center back of the skirt, right? So as you can see, I folded the other 1 yard of fabric for the back into a bias shape like I did the front, and I placed my front directly on it. I didn't add any allowance at the center bar because, like I said, the zipper is going to be at the side. All right, this skirt is usually best, the zipper is by the side, so I'll cut exactly this. So the front and the back are identical, they're just the same thing. All right, and that is all for the cutting. I will now go ahead and cut a facing for both the front and the back. All right, like I said, I'll be using a facing. So I'll fold a piece of fabric into two like this, and I'll place one of the skirt on it. Make sure that the folded part is also facing the folded parts of the piece of fabric that you folded for the facing. Just align it well and cut out a facing. So just watch what I'm doing and you would understand. So you use the skirt as a guide, cut the side as well. So the length of my facing, I'm going to make it 3 inches. Okay, so I measure 3 inches and I'm going to cut it. So I'll use it and cut another one, so I'll be having two facing for the front and the back piece. So for this facing, I'm going to infuse a stay on it. So I will interface it because I'll be using it to turn the skirt part. So I will interface it so that it's a bit thick, which I've already done. Now I'll go ahead and sew it on the skirt by half of an inch, and I'll flip it to front facing front. I'll flip it to the wrong side, and then I'll top stitch it and iron, and then I'll hold the size with just a quarter of an inch, all right, or even less. Okay, I'll do that to the front and the back, and then I will show you what next to do. So I've done that already. As you can see, I held it down, that I top stitched it so that it just lays flat. I'll go ahead and iron it, iron the front, iron the back. The next thing I'm going to do is place the front and the back piece together, front facing front, and then I'm going to hold the sides by 1 inch. Remember, we added only 1 inch seam allowance. All right, add one into my allowance. And for the zipper, I'm using an invisible zipper. It's best to use an invisible zipper. So you're going to attach it to one side of your skirt. So I'll just do all of that, and then the I'll hem the skirt, and that is all for this tutorial, guys. I've done that. I've attached my zipper, and I've shaped my skirt with 1 inch. Next thing is to hem it, and that's all for the tutorial. It's pretty easy, and this is for a client, so you might not see it on the client or anything, but it looks very, very beautiful, and it is so simple and easy to make. So guys, if you found this tutorial helpful, click on the like button, on the subscribe button as well, and thank you so much for watching to the end, and I'm going to see you at my next one. Bye.